There's a confusion regarding if spicy food can cause ulcer or not. Well, in this video, I'll be shedding more light on that to differentiate between fact from fiction. Stay tuned. My name is Dr. Kelly and you're welcome to Prime Health 360. Two major causes of peptic ulcer is a result of a bacteria called H. pylori, which is present in the stomach. This bacteria eats up the stomach wall, causing ulceration on it, and that can lead to peptic ulcer. Another thing that can lead to peptic ulcer can be misuse or frequently use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. And an example of that is diclofenac or ibuprofen. This drug reduces the protective enzyme in our stomach, exposing our stomach tissue to the stomach acid, which can, in the long run, cause stomach ulcer. Peptic ulcer is when there's an ulceration, that means a wound on the lining of the stomach. This ulceration can also occur on the ending of the esophagus and at the first part of the small intestine. And they're categorized into three types. That is the gastric ulcer, which affects the stomach walls, the stomach lining. The esophagus ulcer, which affects the lower part of the esophagus because it's close to the stomach, and the duodenal ulcer, the one that affects the first part of the small intestine. Who are people at risk of having peptic ulcer? First on that list would be those people who misuse or frequently take non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are pain reliefs known as diclofenac, sometimes ibuprofen. These drugs go to the stomach and reduce the protective enzymes in the stomach, exposing the stomach wall to ulceration, in the long term leading to stomach ulcer. Next to be a familiar history of peptic ulcer. If anyone in your family has peptic ulcer disease, you are at risk of having peptic ulcer disease too. Followed by excessive alcohol intake and excessive smoking. Chemicals found in alcohol and cigarettes can affect the stomach walls, leading to ulceration of the stomach. Causes of ulcer. I said earlier that spicy food doesn't cause ulcer, but what actually does cause ulcer? Topping that list would be H. pylori bacteria. This bacteria is the cause of 50% of peptic ulcer in the world population. This bacteria eats up the stomach lining, causing it to have ulceration. This kind of ulcer are mostly asymptomatic, meaning they don't show symptoms, and they can be transmissible from person to person. The good news here is it can be detected by doing a H. pylori test and treated by using a broad-spectrum antibiotic. Following that will be non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. These drugs are regular pain reliefs gotten over the counter, but frequent use of it and misuse of it can lead to peptic ulcer in the sense that these drugs break down the protective layer of the stomach, exposing the stomach to gastric contents, which are acidic in nature, and this gastric content can cause ulceration to the stomach wall. Following that would be excessive gastric acid or stomach acid. This can be as a result of smoking, excessive alcohol intake, or stress hormones. And this can lead to depletion of our protective layer of the stomach and then exposing our stomach lining to gastric acid, which can cause ulceration. Can spicy food cause ulcer? Well, spicy foods don't cause ulcer. In fact, research has shown that capsaicin found in pepper inhibits the production of acid in the stomach, making it difficult for spicy food to cause ulcer. Rather, spicy foods can cause gastric irritation and abdominal discomfort, but not ulceration of the stomach wall. Instead of you focusing on spicy foods, why not you check yourself if you have H. pylori bacteria in your stomach, or if you're misusing non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, as I said, like diclofenac or ibuprofen, because those are the major causes of ulcer. Yeah, final notes, ulcer can be treated depending on the cause of the ulcer. If it's H. pylori bacteria, it can be treated using antibiotics. If it's genetics, it can be managed by taking some medications like antacids or omeprazole. These drugs help reduce the gastric acid content. But in general, let's avoid excessive use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs sold over the counter like diclofenac or ibuprofen. Let's also avoid excessive alcohol intake and smoking. If you're living a healthy lifestyle, you're not abusing over-the-counter pain relief drugs like diclofenac, you're not smoking, and you're not drinking alcohol excessively, but you still feel this abdominal discomfort, please endeavor to see your medical doctor for proper medical advice and tests to be carried out on you. Follow us on our social media platforms and do hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we upload a new video. And visit our website www.primebusiness.africa. I remain your host, Dr. Kelly, and until our next episode, this is Prime Health 360.